Deathworlder 101, A Lesson in Humanity. The Galactic Council was never wrong, at least that's what they told themselves. Their latest decision, introducing a human exchange student into one of the top intergalactic academies to toughen up the younger generation of alien scholars. Why? Because humans came from Earth, classified as a death world, a planet so hostile that every living thing was in a constant state of war just to survive. Poisonous plants, carnivorous mammals, unpredictable weather, gravity that crushed lesser species, and an atmosphere filled with just enough oxygen to be both life-giving and explosively dangerous. The Council figured that immersing young aliens in the presence of a human would encourage them to develop resilience, adaptability, and maybe even a stronger survival instinct. Instead, it gave everyone a new kind of fear. Meet Lucy. Lucy Wilson was 19 years old, a college student back on Earth who had signed up for the intergalactic exchange program, mostly because she thought it would look good on her resume. Also, free food. When she arrived at Zorvlek's Prime Academy, her first impression of the place was, "Oh, this is fancy." The academy floated on an artificial gravity platform orbiting a lush jungle planet. The hallways were sleek and metallic, filled with strange, colorful students of various species. Some had tentacles, others had exoskeletons, and a few just looked like sentient blobs. And all of them looked at her like she was a walking extinction-level event. The first sign that something was off about humans happened during lunch. Lucy, being a Deathworlder, had a metabolism that required an extensive range of nutrients, flavors, and, most importantly, spice. So naturally, she reached into her bag and pulled out her personal bottle of hot sauce. Human, the cafeteria worker, a jittery, blue-skinned xiphoid, stammered, "You may want to reconsider consuming such volatile material." Lucy squinted at her burrito. "What, this? It's just a little extra flavor." She poured a generous amount onto her meal and took a bite. The table of aliens nearest to her watched in horror as she chewed, swallowed, and took another bite, completely unfazed. One student, a nervous amphibian named Glorb, fainted. Another, a tentacled being named Yavrix, immediately began taking notes. Fascinating. Her digestive system does not immediately reject the lethal compound. Lucy paused mid-bite. "What, the hot sauce? Oh, please, this is mild. Don't make me pull out a ghost pepper. Then you will really know about Deathworld food." Then she took out a can of Earth soda. She popped the tab, PSHHHT, and the carbonation fizzed up. The sound alone sent two students scurrying for cover. When she took a sip, the bubbles tingled her throat, and she let out a loud, unapologetic burp. A shockwave blasted through the cafeteria. Tables overturned. Students flew back several feet. The cafeteria worker clung to the serving counter for dear life. A bowl of space pudding vibrated into oblivion. Lucy blinked. "Oh, excuse me." The room was silent. One student whispered, "She weaponized her own biology." The cafeteria worker slowly backed away. I'll be in the kitchen." And just like that, Lucy became the most feared student in the academy. The next few weeks were awkward. Lucy couldn't figure out why everyone kept their distance. She was just being normal. She carried all her books in one hand, while her classmates struggled with anti-gravity backpacks. She did a light jog that left an entire track team gasping for air. She killed a bug on instinct, only to find out that the bug was one of the faculty members' distant relatives. She apologized profusely. She fixed a broken chair with duct tape and was immediately hailed as an engineering genius. She used a mop to clean up a spilled energy drink, and the janitorial staff filed a report about her brutal and unorthodox combat techniques. Her teachers, at first excited to study a Deathworlder, were now deeply concerned. How did the council choose this particular human? The physics instructor, Professor Grisnock, asked. Apparently, she volunteered because she wanted to broaden her cultural understanding. The biology professor, Dr. Tivenna, replied grimly. Professor Grisnock rubbed his temples. We sent that into our school. And then disaster struck. Because it was always reptilians, annoying lizard people, the Tarkvan Empire, a notorious reptilian war fleet, decided that this week was the perfect time to invade. They had been trying to overthrow the Galactic Council for centuries, and what better place to strike than an elite academy? Lucy was in the middle of her Deathworlder 101 class, which ironically had devolved into a lecture on how to survive a human, when the alarms blared. Red alert, hostile forces approaching, panic, screaming. Yavrix, the note-taker, fainted. Lucy, chewing on an energy bar, turned to her instructor. So, do we have an evacuation plan, or do you want me to sort this out? Before anyone could answer, the Tarkvan mothership loomed overhead, casting a shadow through the Academy's observation deck. It was huge, bristling with weapons, and preparing to deploy several hundred soldiers. Professor Grisnock turned pale. We are doomed. Lucy frowned. Come on, you guys don't have some kind of planetary defense? Dr. Tivenna, still shaken, stammered that they've disabled our shields. We cannot fight them. We must surrender. Lucy sighed, finished her energy bar, and stretched her arms. Guess I'll handle it then. Lucy strolled through the Academy's courtyard just as the Tarkvan soldiers landed. The lead commander, General Zarzoth, stepped forward, towering at 9 feet tall, covered in battle armor. Surrender, and your deaths will be swift. Lucy cracked her knuckles. Man, I was hoping you'd say that. She took a single step, only for her strength to double. Weird alien physics. Neat. She leapt into the air and shot up at supersonic speeds. The Tarkvan soldiers looked up, confused. Then Lucy came back down, with one punch. The sheer force of impact vaporized half the fleet. The ground cracked. The sky literally thundered. The Tarkvan mothership, yes, the entire mothership, shuddered violently. General Zarzoth barely had time to comprehend his existence before Lucy delivered a roundhouse kick that sent him flying into the next star system. The remaining Tarkvan soldiers immediately threw down their weapons. We surrender to the Deathworlder. Lucy dusted off her hands. That's what I thought. The Academy was silent for days after the incident. Lucy was awarded the Galactic Medal of Heroism. She wasn't sure what that meant, but it came with a free meal voucher, so she was happy. Professor Grisnock and Dr. Tivenna held an emergency meeting with the Galactic Council. We formally request, Grisnock began, an explanation as to why we were given this human. The Council sighed, because we needed the younger generations to understand what a Deathworlder is capable of. Tivenna whispered, We understand now. The students, once terrified of Lucy, now viewed her with a mix of awe and reverence. Yavrix published a best-selling research paper titled Surviving the Deathworlder, a guide to Earth's chaotic apex predator. And Lucy? She just shrugged, sipped her soda and burped, sending another 3 students flying. Man, she grinned, this place is kind of fun. I wonder how long I can stay for. The teachers and students gave each other nervous looks, even though she was now a hero. I think the aliens had enough of a Deathworlder for a while, and with that, Lucy was sent home.